Can you hear my energy drink?
Are you live right now?
Yeah. Just gonna wait for some people. I don't know if anyone's gonna come and join.
Yeah, right after the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Huh?
Where is it?
Oh, is it in the cooler?
Probably. Why all at Super Bowl parties?
Phil Waits. Did you watch it? Phil Waits? International health coach. It seems like you guys watched it. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Holy crap. Oh. Penny Tidwell, haha. I'm like, okay, is Jared going live? I need to hear this. Oh, come on, camera. I'm not doing it on OBS. So it's all jacked up. That's okay. I'll just like look like this, like I'm being translated right now. Kimberly Butler, awesome game. The Haystack, I completely forgot about the game. What the Kansas City won. They won. They won in overtime. And frankly, to me, it seemed the entire game almost that San Francisco was going to win. Even in overtime, you know, they scored. They got a field goal. San Francisco did. And oh my gosh, holy cow. I'm telling you, I really think that my little theory about the symbolism of this, I think it's right. I think it's right. In all these like critical years and oh my gosh. Phil Waits, I told my husband they'd win and he disagreed. But they did. Oh, Cynthia Christopherson, so fun. ESM Corn Dog Motion won the game. That was my husband's nickname growing up. So funny. Catch the buzz. Are you going to pass out, Jared? I almost did. It's never been a more intense game in my life than that Super Bowl right there. It was already pretty intense. Like, okay, what was it? Yeah, before we moved to Kansas, a couple months before we moved to Kansas, that's when Kansas City had gone to the Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years. And we were having lots of signs about, was it right for us to move to Kansas? Let me turn down there we go. That helps. And we were receiving lots of different signs, yes, Kansas is the right place to move. But one of them was the Super Bowl. And I was like, well, it doesn't matter if they win or not, but it'd be a great confirmation. And then they did. Um, so I thought that was pretty intense. But this one, oh my gosh, even more. Like there were so many like points during the game where it just felt like they made such big mistakes. When they went into the second half, like they started out terribly. I can't remember what it was, but I think they like on the first play they lost yards. I was like, oh great, yeah, great way to start the second half. Randy Von Fossen didn't watch it. I do want to see the church commercial though. I didn't see a church. I saw a church's commercial, not our church, unless I missed it. Laura Mills, what a nail biter. Yeah. Also, I had adrenaline pumping in my system. It was very uncomfortable and it was prolonged. I was like the whole almost like last quarter and then obviously overtime. It was just nerve wracking. Rick Brenneman, who won what? The Chiefs. The team of New Jerusalem beat San Francisco in Las Vegas. Isn't it like isn't it almost like perfect for how we are right now in this dispensation? President Nelson continuing to compare this dispensation where we're at right now to a game, and he said that the game is on the line. That's what he said in the FSY 2022 recorded message that he did, that the game is on the line. In that case, he was using a baseball analogy, that it was the last half of the ninth inning, the last play. Holy crap. It was perfect. This is perfect. I can't believe that happened. The Stylist Corner, I actually watched this one. She was one that was like, "Oh, I don't think it's good to watch football on Sundays." I actually watched this one and couldn't believe how historic this game was. I know. Oh my gosh, that was so insane. I'm only gonna do like a short live stream. Me and Jenica are gonna go for a drive and talk about things. We've had so many Super Bowls that have been like this that we leave feeling really good, and when we have like a spiritual experience along with it. This is one of them. This is probably the biggest one. Okay, ESM, how's about the halftime show? Usher literally standing on a circular stage, overtaken by fire and smoke and stars. Crazy. Well, frankly, this Super Bowl halftime show was relatively wholesome compared to some of the other ones. It was still bad, like it has like very wild kind of like imagery and just like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's a little bit too wild, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. But yeah, the fire. But there's been fire in other ones too. I'd have to like go through, watch them all, and I'm not going to do that. But I'm pretty sure there's been like a fire motif with many of them. Betty Horn, it wouldn't let me chat, but I'm here. Well, now you're chatting. Cheryl L, incredible game. Kansas City wins. The Haystack. Kansas City was always my favorite team to play, as in Madden on Super Nintendo. CO2MC number 26. I knew they would win. I didn't want to flat out say that I knew that they would win, but I think this whole thing is right. It sends a message. I feel like it's, at least for some of us here, you and me, some of us, it's a message. Yeah, I think it's a message that, just like I said, the last Super Bowl, they beat the Eagles, which represents the governments of the world, the United States, the fourth beast, however you want to think of it. You know, Christ comes to Adam on the Yamin, and then he becomes king at that point. But I don't know how much time goes by between Adam on the Yamin and his and the burning, his final appearance. But I think it's a little bit of time. So it's like kingdom first and then cleansing of the world. And this is what we have with these two Super Bowls: the Eagles first, the nations of the world, the fourth beast, and now this one, just generally symbolizing, telestial lifestyle, materialism, and wealth, and um, just all the things, not just like money, but all the things that you typically associate with San Francisco or Las Vegas. Well, in both. Okay, where are we at? Hmm?
I was gonna say it might be symbolic that it went into overtime. It's like the game is over, but it's going into overtime, bringing in the last.
Oh yeah,
During, I don't know.
yeah. It could even be symbolic that it went into overtime like it did. Maybe we're, well, like, again, the second coming. I think, meaning the final appearance is at a set. It's a set day. It's fixed, but maybe in some kind of way we're kind of like in an overtime of some sort. The way I've heard a lot of church leaders talk, they make it seem like it's overtime. President Nelson himself, like I said, he said that the game is on the line. It's like, oh gosh, I can't even, like, I'm having a hard time like forming words right now. I'm gonna sleep really good. Oh my gosh. Um, Kansas City wins 25 points to San Francisco loss 22 points. Dodbender, I checked the scores in the last seconds and was like, yeah, 49ers won. Then I looked away for a few seconds and suddenly the Chiefs had won. It's, yeah. I was like starting to get kind of like pessimistic. I was trying to like, I was thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe the symbolism doesn't mean anything, and that still could be true. But regardless of what happens with this game, in the actual game, the real game of the battle between good and evil, harvesting souls to Christ, we know how that game ends, for sure. We know who wins that. It's just a matter of if you're on that team or if you're not. So I was just kind of like telling myself that, but I don't know. I just feel like the whole thing is kind of validated. Holy cow. Okay, Shandy Muir, Super Bowl bookends. Yeah, sure. It could be. The only other Super Bowl to go into overtime because of a tie was on February 5th, 2017. Oh, yeah. Year of Eclipse 2024. Year of Eclipse. Just saying. Yeah. I think you might be onto something there. I have to be careful how many football videos I do, or else people start thinking I'm really, really crazy. International health coach, FF, red flag alert in Vegas. Hopefully incorrect or thwarted. What do you mean? Is something going on in Las Vegas right now? Or there's just like a Las Vegas. Are you talking about like right now? Because if they were going to do that, you'd think that they'd try and do it before the Super Bowl or during. Hmm. Let me know more what you mean about that. Uh, Mark T. Kelsey acted like a jerk. Oh, I know. Like, are you talking about that one point where he was like upset at the coach at Andy Reid and he was like, he got like physical with him? Yeah. Cheryl L. Usher roller skating was fun and exciting. A different twist I've never seen. Yeah. The as far there are with any given halftime show, I'm not like a very black and white thinker. Like they are like mostly bad and evil, but there are sometimes like there's like a silver lining where it's like, oh, this kind of cool. They're dancing right there. With this, I felt like it was like just very like low intensity. Not for me, it wasn't very exciting. I thought it was going to be more like dramatic, and I thought like the set or like the stage would be bigger. I don't know. It was a little bit underwhelming, but I'm glad it wasn't like worse, like in terms of like evil than what it was. Okay. Sorry if I skip your comments. I'm not gonna like scroll up. I'm gonna keep up with the chat. Laura Mills commercial. The adversaries are back. The adversaries are back. Did I see that? Oh, I may have missed that one. Was there was there a commercial that we kind of like I can't remember if there was any commercials that stood out. Oh, Laura Mills just became a member of the channel. Thank you, Laura. It mostly just like supports me, but I should do more content for members only. But thank you. I appreciate it. Goblin 2004, the Chiefs won in overtime. ESM, me too. I just knew Kansas City would pull through. It's just so amazing, like how you have that inkling, and you have like this kind of theory. If you have the same theory that I do, and to like feel like it's not going to happen during the entire game, like doubting it, and then and then at the last second in overtime, it happening. Usher was in white performing for the millennials. Yeah. I don't know if all of you caught the last live stream, but when I made my main Super Bowl video, I don't know why I didn't look into who was going to do the halftime show. I feel like Usher, because ushering in the millennium. I just did a video yesterday that I have scheduled for tomorrow where I do a quote from Elder Razban where he said that in April 2020 that we are the people charged um, with ushering in the second coming. I just went over that yesterday, and then today I while we were going on a drive, I looked it up while I was with Jenica, and I saw that it was Usher, and I was like, oh my gosh, even that's perfect. Elpicoli, hey Jared, I told you Chiefs would win. Look at all, look at all the threes in the game, such as the one by 3 at 3 seconds. Oh yeah, left in the game. Mahomes has 333 passing yards career so far. Ha. Yeah, that is crazy. Okay. Um, I'll scroll for this one because it was right after Cheryl L. The commercial in the first quarter, if game was about Jesus. Well, yeah, that stood out. Love your neighbor. This is definitely what will happen when he comes. I don't know how I felt about that particular thing. I think the message was good, but like in our church, the Washington Fee, it's like a higher ordinance. Um, And so it's kind of, I don't know. I've done a few things about washing of feet, and now this. Well, I've done one other thing when Pope Francis, like he was washing the feet of like these, uh, like juvenile delinquents or something. He was like visiting a prison, I think, or a youth detention center, and he upset some Catholics by washing the feet of some female inmates, because in the Catholic Church, it's like it's a rite that's reserved only for men, and so he was breaking with tradition. But um, anyway, that's all I'm going to comment about that. Goblin 2004. Maybe we will see something happen in April. Yeah, maybe, maybe. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that are coming together right now at the beginning of the year. I have big questions about the red heifer. What happens when they do it? Are they going to announce it? Because that would probably escalate things even further. Any 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 of the Arab world, the Muslim world that find out about that and they're already worried about the Temple Mount, that's just going to exacerbate their fears about the Temple Mount. So I'm curious to see, and it's probably going to happen within the next couple months because we've gone over the ages of the heifers and they're like ready now. Like the last one uh, should be of age in April. Okay, catch the buzz. Kansas City calling themselves the Kingdom in the pregame. How's that nothing? Second Super Bowl win in a row, second coming. Yeah. Are there other sports teams that, a lot of times like sports teams will be like like Cardinal Nation, like the Arizona Cardinals or things like that. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals use that, but you know what I'm talking about. Is this unique? Like have you guys heard of other sports teams being like like this Kansas City Kingdom? Daystan, I thought Kelsey acted like a jerk too. Okay, I'm gonna say this now. Don't hound me for this. I feel like sometimes you can just like see it on a person's face. Whenever I interact with people, you get initial impressions. It's just initial impressions, and you give that person a fair shake. You observe them over time, how they interact with you, how they interact with others. But I'll just say initial impression. I don't really. This is like the first time I've really even like seen him because, like I said, I don't follow the NFL at all. But he kind of like has the face of a jerk. But who knows? I don't know what he's actually like. But I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like how he was with Andy Reid. Opaculi Eclipse 33 in Gematria. Mark T, yes, sir. Shake my head. Barbara Short O'Brien. Oh, wow. Now we will never hear the end of Taylor Swift and Kelsey. It's so annoying. I was hoping they would lose just to get rid of them. Goblin 2004. I think it was nice that Reba sang the national anthem. Yeah. And even, what's his name? Post Malone's, I can't remember what song he sung, but it was like was it America the Beautiful? He sung a patriotic song, and I thought he did a good job. Um, even that is kind of interesting. I don't mean to go too far with it, but I said in the last stream, it's interesting that like Taylor Swift was like a big part of this, the hubbub going into the Super Bowl. Swift, like when you think of Swift, you think about how Christ is going to come as a thief in the night. Like at some point, there's certain aspects of the second coming that are Swift. You may think it's silly, but I don't know. I'm not so sure after this game. Even Post Malone being there, he's from Utah. That's like one of like the few things I know about him is like he for some reason likes Utah. Well, what's not to like? But like someone like him, you don't think of someone like him living in Utah, and it's like come up in like commercials and interviews and stuff. Um, he claims that Post Malone. I think that I saw something where it said that he just like put in like he used like a website that does like random like rapper names, and he got Post Malone. But it's really weird because he lives in Utah, and with the Utah Jazz, you had that era of Karl Malone and and John Stockton, but you had Karl Malone, and his nickname was the Mailman. so like Post, as in like male, Post Malone. He says that he didn't choose it for that reason, but it's just interesting, and it's interesting that he was part of this game too. Very interesting. The head coach of the Chiefs, a member of the church, that blows me away. Oh my gosh. Laura Mills, you're welcome. Yeah, it was a commercial about cyber attacks or something. Plat 3 seconds left in overtime and barely coming out ahead. Does seem pretty much like what is going on with the gathering of Israel through mortal time. I wish we were privy to that information, like from Heavenly Father's point of view, or even just the prophet's point of view, because he would have the best idea. Obviously, he's kind of a key player in the gathering of Israel in the second coming. All we can do is like listen how he talks, and he uses these sports analogies. And being at the end of the game, he talked about momentum, and that's something that I thought about in this game, momentum, because the Chiefs didn't go into I don't think that they went into the halftime with very much momentum. And then when they were back on the field, like I said, there was that first initial bad play where they lost yards, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is not going to help. That's not going to help. But I guess it was okay. CO2 MC number 26. The first time the Chiefs won, every time I left the room, the Chiefs would score. So I stayed out of the room the rest of the time, and they won. Thank you for doing that. We're all grateful for that. El Paculi, and the Chiefs won 3 in a row. Oh, you mean like for this season? Well, obviously they did, because are you talking about like Super Bowls? Because I don't think so. I think let me double check. Before last year, okay, so 2024. Okay, they went this year. Obviously, they went 2023. In 2022, I think that it was the Rams versus the Bengals. Super Bowl winners. Wikipedia. Just you know what I'm asking. List of. Where is it? Where's the Wikipedia art? Sorry, it's embarrassing that it's taking this long. Oh, this is just dumb. Okay, list of Super Bowls. Okay, list of Super Bowl champions. Okay. So, yeah, that's right. This year, Kansas City over San Francisco. Last year, Kansas City over Philadelphia. The year before that, Los Angeles over Cincinnati. And then the 2 years before that, Kansas City lost to Tampa Bay in 2021. And then Kansas City beat San Francisco that first Super Bowl in 2020. They played San Francisco in 2020. They beat them then, and they beat them this time. And this is not an attack on, if you like, the 49ers. I'm just talking from a symbolic aspect. A lot of my friends and family like the 49ers. My brother and sister-in-law that live in Vegas, I was like, oh, so are you guys, like, when they were going to get the Raiders, I was like, are you guys going to like root for the Raiders now? And they're like, no, we're still 49ers fans. Goblin 2004. When I think of Swift, I think of the truck company. Yeah. Janet Manning, so many of the team, thank God for winning. That's always like a great thing to see. The acknowledgement of God. I think even Usher mentioned God. Maybe something's happened this last year, and now like things are starting to get more righteous. And so that's why we didn't have a worse halftime show. Kyle and Rick saw tons of Niner fans celebrating prematurely with minutes left on the clock. Reminds me of the world celebrating and saying Christ won't come. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, there's a lesson to be learned from that. Goblin 2004. I heard that Taylor Swift's plane landed in Mesquite, Nevada, and that's only 37 miles from St. George. Yeah, that's where my father-in-law lives. He lives in Mesquite. He retired. He lived in West Jordan and then retired and moved to Mesquite. There's a lot of golf courses there. Janet B. Post Malone. His last name is Post. Okay. Thank you. El Pakuli, Gathering of Israel, 333 in Gematria. I'm sure most of you know what Gematria is, but it's the practice of like lining up numbers with letters in the alphabet. There's English Gematria. There's Hebrew, which that's actually like part of Judaism. They're like really, really, really big into Gematria in Judaism. Janet Robinson, no commercial from our church, but a few about Jesus. Cindy Nordgren, no, they've only won 2 in a row. Yeah. Jacob Carlson, love your content, man. Good. I'm glad that you do. I'm glad that somebody does. There's times that I doubt myself a little bit. Cindy Nordgren, that was a fantastic game. Yeah, it sure was. Mindy says, nice hat. Thank you, Mindy. It's my favorite new hat. I'm really happy that I bought this. We were at Boot Barn and I had made my choice what I wanted to buy. I wanted to get a hoodie, and it kind of put me over the budget. And I was like, honey, I really like this hat. Can I please have this hat? And she said yes. The Silas Corner. Did you know the address to the stadium is 3333? What? Laura Mills, they've won 3 in 5 years and 2 back to back. Yeah, so there you go. There's a 3. They've won these in this era of the Chiefs, not counting the very beginning. They've won 3 Super Bowls total. Cheryl L. Kansas City won 2 Super Bowls in a row, which hasn't been done since the Patriots. It's the okay, wait. It's the 2 in a row this year. Yeah. Stephanie Wall, I'm here. Just barely. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Goblin 2004. My family lived in Mesquite from 96 to 98 before my mission to New Mexico, Albuquerque mission. AKA NJ. Isn't that just numerology? It's you could probably categorize it under numerology, but I don't know that it's strictly. I think there's probably different subcategories of numerology.
I need help opening my cup.
It's on there tight.
It's okay, I could go get a new cup.
Well, it moved. What?
I don't know.
I can't do it. I don't know.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
What a way to end the night. Just kidding. I'm still going on a drive. That'll be good.
What? Yeah, take your mind.
Terry, they said it was the 7th long. Yeah, I caught that. The 7th longest Super Bowl. That's kind of interesting. Janet Robinson, hit the like, friends. Goblin 2004. Then in 1998, my family moved back to Mapleton, Utah, and went on my mission. CO2MC number 26. One of my friends who live in Overland Park, Kansas, and if you don't know, that's in the Kansas City metro area, but on the Kansas side, just posted a picture of the Chiefs coach at church with them before the game. Yeah, he I want to say Joni from the Joyous Genealogist channel. She's up there in the Kansas City area, and I want to say that she said that he spoke like at a state conference or something like that. Laura Mills, Jared, I wouldn't have joined your channel if I didn't like your content. I live on well, okay. Your channel is worth it. Well, don't feel like you need to. Okay, so I don't like to get into the look. In order for me to do this, I get plenty from just the ad revenue. So do not think that I need it. It's nice to support, but I do not need it. So I will not be offended if you cancel. Please don't feel like you need to do that. I will do fine, but thank you. Nether quartz. What are you drinking? I like exploring new juices, etc. Well, this juice is called Ghost Sour Green Apple Energy Drink. I like tart things. It's 0 sugar. Curtis Decker, they won with 3 seconds left. I just that game almost like gave me a heart attack. My cholesterol is a little bit high, but I think it's gotten better. I take fish oil. But it was really hard watching the game starting in the second half for me. I don't know about you guys. Spencer Gibson, LDS coach, ushers in the second winning. Yeah, that's awesome. Cheryl L, run the cup under hot water to remove the cover when stuck. Hope this helps. Did you do that? Well, I think at this point she's using a different cup. I'll try that though. The Silas Corner, going on a drive, is that what you and your wife do for fun? Gas is so expensive now. Yeah, we do it for not so much for fun, but it's just a great way for us to really just spend quality time together and talk and do like I said, we have a lot of spiritual experiences doing that. Nicole Reader, my husband read me a huge list of crazy stats, mostly sports related, that are the same as 2020 this year. I hope that's all that repeats from 2020. Yeah, I know. Well, no, what's repeating from 2020? The elections. Only this time it's bigger. Because I don't know if you saw the video I did, but literally half of the world's population lives in a country where there's some form of national elections this year, including the United States. So that's going to be a repeat. Goblin 2004, another 7, the 7th longest Super Bowl. Yeah, we just talked about that. There are so many signs this year. Laura Mills, I don't just know you're awesome. Thank you, Laura. I'm so glad that you think so. It's weird for me to think that people think that I'm awesome. Cindy Nordgren, ooh, that ghost is amazing. Yeah, it is. It's all I have now. Every time there's a drink that or a flavor that comes out, it'll come out for a little while. I'll drink it and then it goes away. I guess I'm the only one that ever likes these different flavors. Like the Mountain Dew, I typically stay away from the sugary sodas, but Mountain Dew came out with a hot and spicy one, and I loved it. And now it's gone. Nether Court sour apple. Interesting. Thanks. Plaid 3-yard touchdown pass with 3 seconds left. Curtis Decker, Chiefs ended with 25 points. 2 plus 5. Laugh out loud 7. Not trying to reach, but it makes sense to me. It's okay. You do not. None of you have to apologize here for any of that. I may not agree with everything, but I feel like a lot of us are people that like see significance in things and aren't necessarily crazy. Maybe some, but most of us are not necessarily crazy. Mindy says, "Yes, please hit the like button." Thanks, Mindy. Mindy, you watched the Super Bowl? Penny Tidwell, that was the first time I watched a Super Bowl while watching for signs and wonders and thinking about your words from the last video the entire time. Makes it a little bit more fun, doesn't it? um Unfortunately, I think okay, this is plaid. Unfortunately, I think the general election will look a lot like 2020. It's oh, man, it's gonna get wild. There's probably gonna be so much contention, and with all my heart, I would hope that none of us engage in that. Do not descend to that level. Nicole Reader, yes, yikes. Orange Peel, I had wanted the Chiefs to lose initially due to Taylor Swift and her toxic boyfriend, but then I realized the coach was LDS. I concluded that it'd be the it'd be like someone wanting our coach to lose because there's some bad apples. Yeah, things are never black and white except for when it comes to the gospel, like good and evil. And even then, we have the 3 degrees of glory, and each one has different degrees. But there is clearly good and evil. But anyway, all right, let's just Goblin 2004. What about Ezra Eagles prophecy? I don't really subscribe to that, but I haven't discounted it. It's just kind of in the back of my mind, and if it turns out to be true, then that's really cool. Sydney Norgren, I'm all about the sour apple drinks too. Yeah, they're so good. They are so good. Orange Peel. So I'm happy the Chiefs won for the good people like the coach involved. Yeah, I'm happy for a few reasons for that. Because now it is my team because I live in Kansas, and even though it's in Kansas City, Missouri, basically most Kansans like the Chiefs. Um, and then for the symbolic reasons, if New Jerusalem actually existed today as an actual city, it'd be the team of that city of its metro area. I really think there's significance to it. Mark T, wonder how many players are members of the church on both teams. Yeah, it's a good question. Janet Manning, this game was the 7th game that went over. What does the number 7 mean? Well, typically in the scriptures and both in Judaism and our church, it's a number of completion and perfection because of the 7 days of creation. Goblin 2004. I wonder if it could possibly happen. I must not. I don't know what you're talking about on that. I may have missed something. Peter Jeffries. Side note on Super Bowl. Did you see the Israel 365 article about the colorless rainbow and it being a Jewish sign of Messiah's return? No, is that like a new Israel? Okay, is that like one of their? That's like one of their new articles. Yeah, it is. White rainbow. What? What are you talking? White rainbow spotted in North Israel. Sign of the Messiah. Okay.
Also, we need the phone real quick. I need to say something. His viewers love me.
Well, I'll probably have to do. I'll probably end up doing a video about this. Okay, sorry, I'm doing a live stream. Do the research later. Okay. Thanks, Peter. I'll mention you. Goblin 2004. Their Chiefs won by 3 points. Mindy says, watching overtime with Jay in hospital. It was a good one. Yeah. You should have seen the entire game. It was nerve wracking for me. there was a lot of like back and forth, a lot of like both teams having possession of the ball. And I feel like generally speaking, San Francisco seemed to have the upper hand during most of the game. They were like a little bit ahead. Um, I told Jenica that when they went for the extra point that was blocked, that could determine the rest of the game, and it did. It's not very often that you block a field goal, but it happened, and that it made all the difference. It made it so that they went to overtime. Gosh, this game was just crazy. Deborah Hecht, I don't watch sports, but enjoying your chat. Yeah, I don't either, Deborah. This is like the one. This is the one out of all sports. This is like the one game that I watch every year, except for like my daughters in volleyball. I used to when I was younger. I don't care nowadays, except for this because of my history with the Super Bowl and how I've like received some personal revelation because of it. Okay, sorry guys, I gotta go. Thanks for joining me. Let's just hope that this means what I hope it does, and maybe what some of you hope that it does. You know, if I feel like at the very least this is some kind of sign that we're getting close, like a foreshadowing. And oh my gosh, I can't believe it happened. Okay, you guys have a good night. I'll have some videos out tomorrow. I already have videos scheduled for tomorrow, so I'll have one out tomorrow morning, and I'll have some good ones this week. So have a good night.